Welcome to Stories Junction. Let's get started with today's story. My name is Ryan Harper, and I still remember that Wednesday like it was burned into the back of my eyelids. Nothing about the evening felt off at first. Just another quiet night in the little ranch house on the north side of Tucson. Kids were finally asleep upstairs, the desert wind rattled the windows, and I was kicked back on the recliner scrolling through nothing important. That was life with Vanessa, comfortable, routine, mostly peaceful. 10 years married, 2 little boys, mortgage, 2 reliable paychecks. She was a senior project manager at a growing software firm downtown. I ran logistics for a national freight company. Different schedules, same goal, keep the train on the tracks. Around 7:05 p.m. my phone lit up on the armrest. Vanessa. I figured it was the usual, pick up milk or running 20 late. Instead the text just said, headed out of town with Gavin tomorrow. Back Sunday night. No emoji, no explanation, no love you. 9 words, like she was telling me the weather. I read it twice. Out of town? Tomorrow? She hadn't said a single thing about travel all week. No packed suitcase I tripped over, no mention of a conference in Phoenix or Vegas or anywhere else. I typed back fast, what trip? 3 dots, then nothing. I called. Straight to voicemail. Something cold slid down my spine. Not rage yet. Just the quiet click of a man realizing the game just changed and he didn't even know the rules. I set my beer down, opened my laptop on the kitchen table, and started moving like a man who already knew what he was going to find. By 7:17 p.m. I was in our shared Google account. She'd used my computer Monday to print the boys' school forms and never logged out. Browser history, Gmail, Google Pay, everything was still warm. First hit, an airline confirmation from that same morning. 2 tickets to San Diego, departing 9:40 a.m. tomorrow. Passenger 1, Vanessa Harper. Passenger 2, Gavin Whitaker, her boss, the slick VP everyone at her company either worshipped or feared. Paid for with her personal card, not the corporate Amex. Second hit, a hotel on the water in Coronado. 1 room. 1 king bed. 3 nights. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just felt the house get real quiet, like the walls themselves were listening to T723. I took screenshots of everything, emailed them to myself, and called Allison Pierce, best divorce lawyer in the city. I'd met her years ago when my buddy went through his nightmare custody battle. She picked up on the second ring. Allison, it's Ryan Harper. I need you. Danger right now? She asked, voice already in work mode. No. But in about 36 hours my wife is getting on a plane with her boss for a weekend that definitely isn't Bucinez. Send me everything you have, she said. Do not text her anything you'll regret. Do not call and scream. Document and stay quiet. I'll clear my morning. I hung up heart hammering and kept digging. By 7:35 I'd found the Uber receipts, same cafe in Midtown, 2 Friday afternoons in a row when she told me she had off-site planning meetings. The lunch charges at that same cafe on her debit card, and a Venmo from Gavin to Vanessa 2 weeks ago, a single $1 with a note for the usual. I stared at the screen until the words blurred. At T7:42 I texted a guy I know who contracts IT for Vanessa's company. Simple question, any off-site or team retreat this weekend? Answer came in under 10 seconds, nope. Nothing on the calendar through Q2. That was it. No more doubt. Just facts. I poured myself a whiskey neat, and started planning the most calm, precise, devastating 48 hours of my life. Vanessa thought she was slipping away for a secret getaway. She had no idea that by sunrise tomorrow her marriage, her job, and every lie she told herself were already on fire, and I was the one quietly pouring the gas. I didn't sleep. The boys woke up at 6 like clockwork. I got them cereal, kissed their heads, and dropped them at my sister's before Vanessa even stirred. She came downstairs at 7:15 in yoga pants and an overnight bag slung over her shoulder, hair still wet from the shower, acting like this was just any other Thursday. Morning, she said, breezy, grabbing a travel mug. Gavin's picking me up in 10. Big strategy offsite in San Diego. I'll call the boys tonight. I nodded from the kitchen island, sipping coffee like the world wasn't tilting. Safe flight. She hesitated for half a second, maybe because I didn't ask a single question, then smiled and walked out. The second her lift pulled away, I opened the laptop again. 8:03 a.m. I forwarded every screenshot, every receipt, every confirmation to Allison with the subject line, file today. 8:17 a.m. Allison replied, petition is already drafted. Fault grounds, adultery plus misuse of marital assets. I'm walking it to the courthouse at 9 o'clock. Do not let her know yet. 8:41 a.m. I created a new Gmail account, neutral name, no profile pic. I attached the flight confirmation, the hotel booking, king bed circled in red, and the Venmo screenshot. Then I wrote the calmest, most professional email of my life to Vanessa's HR director and the company's general counsel. Dear Ms. Delgado and Mr. Park, I am the husband of Senior Project Manager Vanessa Harper. Attached you will find evidence that Mrs. Harper and VP Gavin Whitaker have booked a personal weekend in San Diego using personal funds while representing it to family and, I believe, to the company as official travel. I have no interest in public spectacle, but I felt leadership should be aware before any expense reports are submitted next week. Respectfully, a concerned spouse. I hit send at 8:47. By 9:12 my phone buzzed with an unknown Arizona number. I let it ring. Voicemail popped up 30 seconds later. Woman, professional tone, Mr. Harper, this is Elena Delgado, Head of People Operations. We received your email and are taking it extremely seriously. An investigation is opening immediately. Please hold any further communication until we reach out. Thank you. Translation: They were already shitting themselves. At 9:40 their plane took off. Vanessa sent me a selfie from her window seat, palm trees in the background, caption, wheels up. Miss my boys already red heart. I saved it to the evidence folder without replying. 11:02 yem. Allison texted, filed and stamped. You are legally separated as of this morning. Service papers will hit her Monday, courtesy of a process server I keep on retainer. 11:17 a.m. Another email from HR, this time marked urgent. Mr. Whitaker and Mrs. Harper have both been placed on immediate administrative leave pending investigation. Their corporate cards and email access have been suspended. I pictured them landing in San Diego, grabbing their bags, walking toward the rental car counter, and both their phones exploding with the same message at the exact same moment. But I smiled for the first time all day. Around noon I got a text from Vanessa, just landed. Gavin's card got declined at the rental counter? So weird. Using mine instead. I didn't answer. 1:05 p.m. She tried calling. Once. Twice. Third time left a voicemail, voice a little higher than normal. Hey babe, everything okay? Call me when you can. I let it sit to be 3 p.m. Pacific time. They would have reached the hotel, ready for their romantic ocean view check-in. Except the front desk had almost certainly just received a very polite call from corporate counsel telling them not to accept any charges from either guest and to flag the reservation. I wondered which one of them figured it out first. I wondered how quiet that king bed was going to feel tonight. And I still had 24 hours left before she even thought about coming home. Friday, 6:12 p.m. Tucson time, 5:12 in San Diego. My phone started blowing up. First it was just rapid-fire texts from Vanessa, 5:12, Ryan, what the hell is going on? 5:13, HR just emailed me saying I'm on leave. 5:14, Gavin's freaking out. They froze everything. Call me now. 5:15, did you do this? Then the call started. I let every one roll to voicemail. By the 7th missed call she switched to all caps, 5:23, answer your phone Ryan. I poured a second whiskey, muted her thread, and watched the messages stack like a car crash in slow motion. At 5:41 p.m. a new number came through, California area code. Gavin. I almost answered just to hear his voice crack, but I stayed disciplined. Voicemail instead, Ryan, this is Gavin Whitaker. Look, whatever you think is happening, it's not what it looks like. We're just here for strategic planning. Please call me back so we can clear this up. This is affecting both our families. His voice shook on the last sentence. I saved it, forwarded it to Allison with the note, Exhibit G for gaslighting. By 7 p.m. Tucson time my sister had the boys for the night. I sat on the back patio, desert cooling off, and waited. I knew the exact moment the hotel finally cut them off, because at 7:08 the texts turned desperate, 7:08, they won't let us charge dinner to the room. 7:09, Gavin only has like $400 cash and my card is maxed from the rental. 7:11, they're asking us to come to the front desk. Ryan, please pick up. I pictured them standing in the marble lobby in their date night clothes, sunburned, confused, phones dying, while a polite manager explained that corporate had flagged the reservation as unauthorized. 8:47 p.m. came the one that almost made me laugh out loud, 8:47. Gavin is making me pay for everything. He says it's my fault because I told you it was a work trip. This is your fault, Ryan. I screenshotted it, sent it to Allison. She replied instantly, gold. Keep letting her dig. Saturday morning I woke up to 32 missed calls and a voicemail timestamped 2:14 a.m. Pacific. Vanessa was crying so hard I could barely understand her. Ryan, we're at some shitty motel off the 5 now. Gavin left. He said he can't be seen with me anymore because his wife is threatening divorce too. I'm alone and I have no way home and I'm so scared. Please just talk to me. I messed up. I'm sorry. I'll fix it. Please. I listened once, saved it, felt exactly nothing. 9:03 a.m. Saturday. Allison texted a photo of the filed divorce petition, time-stamped and official, with the adultery and fraud clauses highlighted. She added, "Process server lands in San Diego at 3 p.m. today. Hotel lobby. I paid extra for photos." I spent the day doing normal dad stuff, took the boys to the park, grilled burgers, acted like the world wasn't imploding 3 states away. At 3:27 p.m. my phone pinged with a new picture message from an unknown number. Vanessa in the Coronado Hotel lobby, mascara streaked, holding a manila envelope while a board process server walked away. Caption from Allison, "Service complete. She's officially been served in paradise." 2 minutes later Vanessa called screaming. I finally answered. "What did you do?" she shrieked. "I filed what you earned," I said, calm as the desert night. "You ruined my life over one weekend."
No, Vanessa.
"You ruined your life the second you booked that room and lied to my face. I just refused to help you hide it."
She sobbed.
I heard traffic and gulls in the background. "I have no money, no flight home, no job. Gavin blocked me. What am I supposed to do?"
"Figure it out," I said.
"You're a big girl who makes big girl choices." Then I hung up. Sunday morning she somehow scraped together a one-way ticket on Spirit, landed in Phoenix at 3:10 p.m., then a 2-hour bus to Tucson. I know because I still had her location shared from when we used it for family trips. I was sitting at the kitchen island when the front door opened at 7:42 p.m. Sunday night. She looked like hell, hair unwashed, same clothes from Thursday, eyes swollen. She dropped her bag and just stared at me. The real confrontation was about to begin, and I was more than ready. She stood in the doorway like a ghost of the woman who'd kissed the boys goodbye 4 days earlier. Suitcase at her feet, tan lines from a weekend that never happened, eyes red and puffy. "Ryan," her voice cracked on my name that I didn't move from the kitchen island. Just slid a thick manila folder across the granite toward the empty chair. "Sit." She did, slow like the chair might bite her. Did I open the folder and started laying pages out like a dealer with a winning hand. Page 1, the divorce petition already filed, adultery stamped in bold. Page 2, screenshots of the hotel, the king bed, the Venmo, the Uber receipts. Page 3, the email thread with HR, including their reply confirming both she and Gavin were now formally terminated for gross misconduct and fraud. Page 4, a letter from the company's legal department stating they were pursuing repayment of any expenses falsely claimed, currently estimated at $4,800, and reserving the right to press criminal charges for fraud. Her hands shook so hard she couldn't hold the pages steady. You got me fired?" she whispered. "No," I said. "You got yourself fired. I just made sure the truth had an express lane." She started crying, ugly, snotty sobs that would have broken me a week ago. Tonight they just sounded like noise. "I ended it with him the second I found out what this would do," she said between gasps. "It was stupid, it was a mistake, it was only supposed to be, stop."
I cut her off.
"Don't insult me with only. You booked the room. You lied to my face. You let another man pay you for the usual.
Own it."
She looked up, mascara rivers down her cheeks. "What happens now?" "Now you listen."
I leaned in.
"Tomorrow morning at 9, you and whatever lawyer you can afford on zero notice will meet me and Allison downtown. The terms are already written. You keep your clothes, your car, that's still in your name, and the $3,200 that's left in your personal checking. Everything else, house, savings, retirement, my 401k stays with me.
No spousal support.
You committed documented adultery and fraud. Arizona's a no-fault state, but it still lets judges consider misconduct when dividing assets. Allison says we won't even need a judge. You'll sign or we go to court and every coworker, every friend, every family member gets subpoenaed and sees the receipts." She stared at the papers like they were written in fire. "I have nowhere to go," she said quietly. "That's not my problem anymore." Her phone buzzed on the table, her sister Tara. She ignored it. "I lost everything because of one weekend," she whispered. "No," I said again. "You lost everything because you spent months building a lie and thought I was too busy or too stupid to notice." Silence stretched between us, thick and final. Then she asked the question I'd been waiting for. Do you want me to beg?" I looked her dead in the eyes. "I want you to feel every second of what betrayal feels like from the other side. Then I want you to sign the papers and disappear from my life and my kids' lives without making this any uglier than you already have." She dropped her head into her hands and cried until there was nothing left. Upstairs, one of the boys stirred and called out in his sleep. I stood up. "Guest room's made up.
You can sleep there tonight."
Tomorrow you'll be gone before they wake up. After that, I don't care where you go. I walked away without waiting for an answer. Behind me I heard her whisper, I never thought you had this in you. I paused in the hallway, didn't turn around. That's the thing, Vanessa. You never thought about me at all. Tomorrow she would sign. The day after, the locks would be changed. But tonight, for the first time in years, the house was finally completely mine again. Monday, 8:47 a.m. We sat in a bland conference room downtown. Me, Allison, Vanessa, and the tired-looking public defender she'd managed to beg into representing her pro bono. Vanessa hadn't slept. Her hair was pulled back in a messy knot, no makeup, yesterday's clothes wrinkled from the guest room floor. She kept staring at the pen like it weighed 50 pounds. Allison slid the settlement across the table, simple, clean, final. House, savings, retirement accounts, Ryan her 2019 RAV4 and whatever fits in it. Vanessa no spousal support, no custody fight yet. We'd file a separate parenting plan later, but she'd already agreed to supervised visits until she proved stability. A single line buried on page 4. Vanessa agrees never to disparage Ryan to the children or on social media. The lawyer whispered something in her ear. She shook her head, eyes glassy. I just want to say, she started. No, Allison cut in, calm but razor sharp. You speak when spoken to. Sign or we walk and let a judge decide after discovery.
Your choice.
Vanessa looked at me one last time, searching for the soft landing that wasn't there anymore. That I gave her nothing. She picked up the pen. Hand shaking so badly the first signature smeared.
She tried again. And again.
4 pages, 8 signatures, initials in every box. When the last one was done, she set the pen down like it had burned her. Allison gathered the documents. Recorded by noon. You're divorced as of today. Keys to the house stay with Mr. Harper. You have until 6 p.m. to remove any remaining personal items under supervision of his choosing. Vanessa stood up slowly. The lawyer touched her elbow, guiding her toward the door. At the threshold she stopped, voice barely a whisper. I really did love you, Ryan. I met her eyes for the last time. You loved the version of me that let you do whatever you wanted. That guy's gone. She nodded once, tears falling, and walked out. That afternoon I watched from the porch as her sister Tara helped load 3 plastic bins and 2 suitcases into the RAV4. Vanessa never looked back. The car pulled away at 5:51 p.m. Dust trailed down the street. Then nothing. I changed the locks before sunset. 3 months later the boys and I were eating breakfast on a Saturday when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something made me open the text. It was a photo. Vanessa in a cramped studio apartment, holding a cashier name tag from a big box store, forced half smile. Single line underneath. I started over. I hope one day you can believe I'm sorry. I looked at my sons laughing over pancakes, sunlight pouring through the kitchen window. I no longer had to share with lies. I deleted the message, blocked the number, and poured more syrup. Some apologies aren't for the person who was hurt. They're for the person who finally has to live with what they did. And I'm good. House is paid off. Boys are thriving. I date when I feel like it, sleep like a rock every night, and the desert air has never tasted so clean. That one text message 10 minutes after she walked out the door for her work trip? It didn't ruin my life. It set me free. Thanks for listening. See you next confession.